Now I'm going to be tying a small G&H Sedge, this one here. This is the Grannom, small green tail as we would call it, and at this time of the year up here where I live anyway, it's due on the water in the next week or two. Depends on the weather, just need that wee touch heat. It's mainly be towards the end of April, beginning of May. So anyway, the hook I'm using, now the hook is basically a dry fly hook. It's called the Ultimate Dry Fly Barbless. Now that's a size 20, but this is a size 14. Now thread I'm going to be using, just going to use a light coloured thread in this case. It's grey to suit the colour of the fly. Start at the eye, just work my way down. Now the Grannom is known as the green tail. Now the reason it's known as the green tail is because especially the female has a small egg sac at the back, and that can be represented in many ways, and I'm going to use in this case Glo-Brite floss number 12. You can see it's a kind of fluorescent green or a lime green. Now there's 4 strands there just brushed together. I'm going to tie this on the way down just to save a bit of bulk. Nice and tight. Now my thread is waxed, so it's going to have plenty of grip. So just as it starts to ground the bend, then I just put a wee turn underneath to lock it, and a turn on top. As I say, it's just a small tail or a tuft of the fibre just to highlight the egg sac. Now for the wing, I'm going to be using, this is the belly hair of a roe deer. It's very light, but it's got a lovely grey colour. But we want the mix of the tips and the grey. Now that's what I'm going to be trimming to form the wing. And the underbody, just basically going to be the remains of the cut ends. Now take some out from the skin and I'm going to stack it. Now before you stack it, I've got the bunch here, tips in my fingers, just twist it, open it out, and then you can either brush it through with a fine comb or pull out the underfur. You've got to do that or it'll not stack and it'll not roll onto the hook. So tips first into the stacker. Now this is a rough fly, it's not going to win any prizes for looks, but it's going to certainly make up for that when you go fishing. Now the colour I want is basically the tips here and just slightly into the grey. So to start with, these tapered ends or the ends of the deer hair, I want it obviously by the end of the tail. So I hold that finger and thumb here. Now what I'm going to do, this is going to be quite unusual. I'm going to come round, a couple of turns, loose turns at first, and then tighten up. 2 or 3 turns through the cut ends. Then basically force these down either side. So you basically put them in a middle shed. Now what I've got here is an old pen. This will help you do this. Push them towards the back. And then basically what I can do is just come over the top a couple of turns, leaving a space so that I can get the wing. This is the wing here I want. Now do the same again, we work our way up and we keep stacking the hair. As I say, the reason I'm doing that is to get the colour of the tips. Again, always clean the ends when you stack it. The colour blend of these tips, the light tips and the grey, is perfect for the wing. So here we are again, hold the tips. So make that space, there's the ends we want. Hold them, come round, a couple of turns, tighten up, cause it to flare, 2 or 3 turns down. Come in with our pen, in this case, this is a Bookie's pen, it's a Labrooks pen. I've had it for years. Just comes over the top, pull it towards the back, and then we can tighten up against it with a thread. It's not going to be pretty, as I say, but it'll be, once you see it in the water, it's perfect for the Grannom. So, and it floats forever, this fly. Now remove the fluff again, come back in, tap on your desk, the ends are lined up. Now we're not putting big bunches on here because I want to try and control the turns. If you put too much on, you kind of lose it. So there we are, hold the wing, again couple of turns round, tighten up, through 2 or 3 turns, come in with your Bookie's pen as we call it, basically form these down the side. Now you'll not get them all, but don't worry about that, just force them towards the back. As I say, just take your time, use the colour of thread, you'll not see it as much. If you use a dark coloured thread you're going to see the thread. If you use a colour close to what the deer here, you'll not see it. Again, last punch, this is into the stacker again. Come in, set it on the top, come round, 1, 2, tighten, couple of turns through the cut ends, back to our pen, just cord these to come down the sides. Nice and tight. Make sure it's secure. Now obviously I've waxed the thread so it makes it easier to do this. And then all we do is whip finish just to do the wing. So I might have to do a wee dot, tiny dot more, it's just always a wee tiny bit short sometimes. You don't need to low it in this case. Yeah, I'm going to stack it just to get it. You'll get the proportions right once you start to go. There we are. A wee bit shorter. It's going to go through a single turn in this case. It's just a wee drop back. Now the reason keeping these cut ends long is so that you can separate it from the main part of the wing. The wing, the colour that you want, it's much easier to do that. There's the whip finish. Trim away. Now when you come under here, obviously you can't see a lot, but you don't want to go too close to the body. There you do, you want to basically go in with your scissors, hooks upside down, just kind of straight cut across. You'll feel the hook. You can get it a wee bit closer once you can see better. And then see how we're sitting, see what the body's looking like. I say it's rough. Now this is going to look a bit weird, but see these long fibres? I'll hold the hook so you can pull these off. Just pull away quite easy. They'll separate from the guard here, the main here. Now I tie bigger flies like this, so I know how robust the flies are, so I mean this is a small fly, well it's a 14, but it's in comparison to the bigger flies I tie in this style, like well, the flies, to give you an idea, cicada I tie in this style. So there's your mix. You've got a lovely mix of natural deer hair, plus you've got the grey and the natural tips. Now at this point obviously you can come in here and you can see what you've been doing, you can see a bit better. As I say, this will not win any prizes, like, but when it comes to fishing, it's a good fly. Now I'm going to trim, just as I would do, especially at the beginning, the deer hair tapering up towards the back. See a lot better. And basically there's the G&H Sedge, it's just get the tips in there. At the end you can then form the shape of the cicadas at the back. It's a straight cut underneath and on top. There we go. Then what you want to do, to be quick look, see so it looks better. It's one of the times you need to stand back and have a wee quick look. You can see the green, fluorescent green within the wing, and that's where you want it. Hackle I've just using, this is it's a Collins neck I've had for a while. It's a rusty dun, it's got a grey in it, you see. If you haven't got it, just use a light ginger or even a grey. Obviously put the thread back on. You could put horns in this if you want, it's up to yourself. The Granum doesn't really have horns, so take this up. And then, actually these hackles I actually like, I don't like them tying forward towards the eye. For some reason I prefer to take them up with the natural curve towards the back. Now I want some of the ginger mixed through the grey, so I'm just going to go up into the hackle, back down. As you can see, I'm using my fingers. These hackles are long enough, you can do that. Now I'm going to come through with the thread. I mean, obviously keeping it rough. Break away the tip as you see I did. A couple of turns in front. Come in and whip finish. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tighten up. Trim away the thread. Oh, that's not bad. You can see the natural colour. If you see the Granum, that's the colour of the Granum, especially its wing. You've got that nice colour. You could spend a wee bit more time with it, but to be honest with you, that is it. You don't need much more. You don't need to be fussy with the fly. Then, as I say, all you have to do is varnish the head. And there you go. That's the G&H Sedge, or the Grannom version. Just going to clean the eye out. Just use an old feather that's lying on my desk here. There you are. And there's Grannom. I say it is a bit rough, but that's the way you want it. That's the way I like it. And all you have to do is, if you're ginking it up or whatever you use to float your fly, just work it into the wing, into the hackle, and you can't go far wrong. So I hope you enjoyed that.